Are you looking for a rose fragrance that you can actually wear? I know it can be intimidating. Stay tuned, I'm going to introduce you to a brand new one that I think works well for almost any guy out there. Welcome back everybody to Joel the Nose, and today I'm going to do a video introducing you to a brand new fragrance, or it's released really kind of in the last 6 months, but it's new to the US, and this is one of the new fragrances from Ormond Jane that I've been talking about. This is Indus, and whoops, the decant fell out. You can see the bottle in this whole series. It's got that orange ombre faded kind of bottle, beautiful. I have the decant here. And Indus is a rose-based fragrance. This is Persian rose, and to be honest with you, I don't think I've ever tried Persian rose before. You know, obviously you've got rose from grass, you've got Bulgarian rose, you've got all kinds of beautiful roses out there, and they're, pretty much grown all around the world. But I'd never really tried Persian rose, and this is built around a Persian rose. And I know a lot of guys out there like me are intimidated by rose fragrances. Sometimes you just feel they're too feminine. It's obviously one of the most classic perfume elements that's been used in perfumery. Ever since perfumery has been around, rose is just, it's that important. So I think it's something that as a fragrance lover, we need to have in our collection and really need to be able to wear and enjoy. And I do get it. Some roses just can be, sometimes they're too powdery, they're too feminine, they're too floral, whatever it may be. This is a rose that I think you need to try if you haven't tried it. And I'm going to do a quick review for you here so you can learn about it. But basically the notes that they list, that Ormond Jane lists, are at the top you have black currant buds, lychee, which is a wonderful fruit, the lychee fruit, very tropical, beautiful, kind of neutral, whitish type fruit. And then nutmeg, also at the top. And then at the heart, you have the Persian rose, which again, this is built around. And at the bottom you have, or at the base, you have musk, Chinese patchouli, incense, and Armenian plum. Again, another interesting take here, another interesting note. But when you spray this on, and I'm going to spray it real quick here just so you can kind of see my reaction here. I'll spray it on my right hand. Okay. Oh, it is a classic Ormond Jane. If you know this house, it's a British house. Linda Pilkington is the creator, founder. She's the creative director. She oversees everything. It's dark, it's fruity from that lychee. It's clearly a rose fragrance. I would say at the very top, when you first smell it, it does lean a little bit more feminine, but this is one you got to try, you got to stick with, because I promise you, at least on my skin, after that initial kind of opening, it just dries down into a beautiful unisex, and I think definitely very wearable for men, and actually kind of maybe even leans a little bit more masculine as it dries down. That opening again is just got that base of the rose, but it's so different, and I don't know how to describe it because it's a rose that I've never smelled before, because I'm not really familiar, my nose isn't, with Persian rose, but it is clearly something different about that rose that I think makes this different and very wearable again for the average guy out there that wants to try a rose fragrance. It's not a powdery rose, and again, it's not a too sweet floral rose. It's more of a darker, and it's not too cloying. So I like that, because some rose fragrances to me are just way too cloying. As it starts to dry down, after I would say about a couple hours, that incense blends in with the rose sticks there, and the incense, which is one of my favorite fragrance notes, it goes so well on my skin, and it just blends with this perfectly sexy musk, and it becomes, again, very unisex and almost masculine leaning at that point. And you have this hints in this dry down in the middle, you have hints of the plum and hints of the patchouli. There's a little bit of a chocolatey patchouli. Then after, I'd say about 3 or 4 hours, it's still projecting well, very well at that point. It's still very strong on the skin, and the plum gets a little bit sweeter, and the patchouli gets very sensual. If you know patchouli, it can be very sometimes almost damp a little bit. It's a very, to me, woody, sexual note or sensual note. And what can I say? It just dries down into that kind of patchouli plum base, which is really, really nice and different. And it retains the element of rose also, but the rose kind of goes more into the background in the dry down. Thus why I think it becomes a little bit more masculine and very wearable. I got 8+ hours of wearing on my skin, almost 9 hours of a really good skin scent at that point. Again, very wearable rose, very good for men. If you are afraid of rose fragrances or you've never really found one you like, this is a rose that you need to try. And what else can I say? Ormonde Jane to me is one of the best houses out there, and it always has, Ormonde Jane, like a lot of the really good houses, has a DNA that you just know it's Ormonde Jane. It just is like, almost smells like British royalty. So there you have it. I would say order a sample. You can go to Osme Perfumery. Actually, that's the only place in the US you can get this fragrance right now. It's exclusive to Osme. So you can go there and order a sample if you want to try it first, which of course I recommend before buying because you want to make sure, especially on a rose fragrance, which can be challenging to a lot of guys out there. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting me. If you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. I appreciate, of course, the support. And also, if you haven't signed up for ScentXplore 2021, click on the link below because the early bird discount is only on for another, I don't know, another few days. So take advantage of it. I'll be back soon with another video. Peace and love.